Hello. Welcome back to Unsolved, where we delve into the most chilling unsolved crimes and mysterious disappearances that continue to baffle investigators and haunt families. Please subscribe, share and hit that like button to help grow the channel. Today, we explore the perplexing case of Susan Walsh, a woman whose vanishing in 1996 left behind a trail of unanswered questions and dark theories. The disappearance. On July 16, 1996, in the quiet town of Nutley, New Jersey, 36-year-old Susan Walsh stepped out of her apartment on Washington Street. It was early morning, and she told her estranged husband, Mark Walsh, that she was going to use a payphone across the street. She promised to return in half an hour. Little did anyone know that this would be the last time Susan Walsh would be seen. Who was Susan Walsh? Susan Walsh was not your average suburban mom. She led a life that could easily be the plot of a gripping novel. A freelance journalist, stripper, and graduate student, Susan was a complex individual with a fascinating past. Born on February 18, 1960, Susan had battled drug addiction but had maintained sobriety for 11 years before her disappearance. She was halfway through a master's program in English at New York University, juggling her studies with freelance journalism and occasional work as a stripper to support herself and her 11-year-old son. Susan's journey into journalism was unconventional. She had started working as a stripper to pay for her college education. This experience gave her unique insights into the adult entertainment industry, which she later leveraged in her investigative reporting. Her writing caught the attention of James Ridgway, a veteran journalist at the Village Voice. Ridgway described Susan as his most reliable writer, praising her ability to navigate the complex world of New York's underground scenes. The investigation begins. When Susan failed to return, alarm bells started ringing. Her purse, wallet, keys, medication, and pager were all left behind in her apartment. It was as if she had vanished into thin air. The police investigation quickly hit a roadblock. Despite Susan's claim of going to use a payphone, there was no record of any outgoing calls made from the payphones near her apartment that morning. Adding to the mystery, investigators discovered that the calendar page for July 1996 had been ripped out of Susan's planner and was nowhere to be found in her home. This peculiar detail fueled speculation about whether Susan had planned her disappearance or if someone else had removed the page to cover their tracks. Dark theories emerge. As news of Susan's disappearance spread, so did the theories about what might have happened to her. Her work as an investigative journalist soon came under scrutiny. The Russian Mafia connection. Prior to her disappearance, Susan had written an in-depth report for the Village Voice about a strip club ring allegedly run by the Russian Mafia. The article exposed how young girls were being forced into the sex industry. Susan's investigation was thorough and potentially dangerous. She had infiltrated the world of strip clubs, using her past experience as a dancer to gain trust and gather information. The article painted a grim picture of exploitation and organized crime. Friends reported that after the article's publication, Susan became paranoid, believing she was being stalked by organized crime members. She reportedly told friends that she had seen suspicious cars parked outside her apartment and felt she was being followed. The vampire underground. In a bizarre twist, Susan had also been exploring New York City's underground vampire community. Although the Village Voice didn't run this story, deeming it not objective enough, it added another layer of intrigue to her disappearance. Susan's fascination with the vampire subculture was more than just passing curiosity. She had immersed herself in this world, attending gatherings and interviewing self-proclaimed vampires. Some speculated that her involvement with this community might have led her into dangerous territory. Personal troubles. Just a month before she vanished, Susan had served as the primary researcher for a book titled Red Light, Inside the Sex Industry. At the book's launch party, concerns were raised about her health. Her wrists were bandaged, and when questioned about her drug and alcohol use, she brushed off concerns. Susan's history of substance abuse added another dimension to the case. While she had been sober for over a decade, some wondered if the stress of her work and personal life had led to a relapse. Could she have voluntarily disappeared to deal with personal demons? The stalker theory. In 2006, a new lead emerged. An article in the New York Post revealed that Susan had confided in a former boyfriend about being stalked by another ex-boyfriend. This revelation shed new light on Susan's state of mind in the days leading up to her disappearance. Had she been living in fear? Was the stalker responsible for her vanishing? The documentary connection. Adding another layer to this complex case, Susan had participated in a documentary called Stripped, just days before her disappearance. In a group interview recorded on July 14, 1996, her pager went off, and she mentioned having a stalker. During this interview, Susan also spoke about her health issues, including bronchitis, emphysema, and an ulcer. She mentioned being hospitalized twice that week and talked about experiencing mood swings and depression. The documentary footage provides a haunting glimpse into Susan's final days. Her on-camera comments about a stalker and her health issues have led some to speculate about her mental state at the time of her disappearance. The investigation stalls. Despite these leads, the investigation into Susan's disappearance hit numerous dead ends. Her estranged husband, Mark Walsh, was eliminated as a suspect. However, questions remained about his cooperation with the investigation. According to the New York Post, Mark had refused to allow police to perform forensic testing in their home. This refusal raised eyebrows and fueled further speculation about what might have happened to Susan. The relationship between Susan and Mark was complex. They were separated at the time of her disappearance but still living in the same apartment. Some wondered if domestic issues played a role in Susan's vanishing. Media attention. Susan's case captured public attention, featured on television shows like Unsolved Mysteries in 1997 and Disappeared in 2012. Her story even inspired a book, Piercing the Darkness, Undercover with Vampires in America Today by Katherine Ramsland, published in 1998. The media coverage brought both benefits and drawbacks to the investigation. While it kept Susan's case in the public eye, it also led to a flood of tips and theories, many of which proved to be dead ends. The impact on Susan's family and friends. The disappearance of Susan Walsh left a void in the lives of those who knew her. Her son, left in the care of his father that fateful morning, grew up without answers about his mother's fate. Susan's friend and fellow journalist, James Ridgway, spoke highly of her work, calling her his most reliable writer. Her disappearance not only robbed the world of a talented journalist but also left her colleagues and friends grappling with unanswered questions. The case has had a lasting impact on the community of Nutley, New Jersey. For years, residents wondered if a dangerous predator was in their midst or if Susan had chosen to disappear voluntarily. The case today. As of 2024, the case of Susan Walsh remains unsolved. Her disappearance continues to baffle investigators and fascinate the public. The mix of her complex personal life, her investigative work, and the strange circumstances surrounding her vanishing act have kept this case in the public eye for over 2 decades. Recent developments. In a surprising turn of events, on February 16, 2022, an Essex County, New Jersey, Superior Court judge ordered the disclosure of records from the Nutley Police Department about Susan's case. This decision came as a result of efforts by Susan's brother, Arthur Merchant, represented by attorney Alan Peruton. Peruton stated, "This decision helps the surviving family members and friends of Susan Walsh understand what may have happened to her 26 years ago and what the Nutley police did to try to solve her missing persons case over this extended period." This development has reignited interest in the case, offering hope that new information might finally shed light on Susan's fate. The release of these records could potentially reveal new leads or shed light on aspects of the investigation that were previously unknown to the public. Lessons from Susan's case. The disappearance of Susan Walsh serves as a stark reminder of the dangers that can lurk beneath the surface of our seemingly ordinary lives. It highlights the risks faced by investigative journalists and the potential consequences of delving into dangerous territories. Moreover, Susan's case underscores the importance of mental health awareness and support. Her struggles with addiction and reported mood swings in the days leading up to her disappearance paint a picture of a woman who may have been grappling with significant personal challenges. The case also raises questions about the effectiveness of missing persons investigations, especially in cases where the circumstances are unclear. How can law enforcement better handle cases where there's no clear evidence of foul play but also no indication of voluntary disappearance? Comparisons to similar cases. Susan's disappearance bears similarities to other cases of missing women from the same era. The late 1990s saw a number of high-profile disappearances, many of which remain unsolved to this day. Like Susan, many of these women vanished under mysterious circumstances, leaving behind few clues. The cases often involve complex personal lives, potential connections to criminal elements, and a lack of clear evidence pointing to what happened. These similarities have led some investigators to wonder if there might be connections between these cases, or if they reflect a broader pattern of violence against women that was inadequately addressed at the time. Call to action. Your tip could be the key to solving this decades-old mystery and bringing closure to Susan's family and friends. Conclusion. The case of Susan Walsh remains one of the most perplexing disappearances in New Jersey's history. A talented writer with a complex past, Susan's story continues to captivate and mystify. As we remember Susan, we're reminded of the enduring impact of unsolved cases on families, communities, and our collective psyche. Until next time, stay safe, stay vigilant, and remember, every unsolved case is a story waiting for its final chapter to be written. If you have any information about the Susan Walsh disappearance, no matter how insignificant it may seem, please call the Nutley Police Department at 973-284-4940. You may want to ask to speak with the Detective Division or the Cold Case Unit when you call. Thank you for watching this look into today's unsolved case. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more captivating true stories from the world of crime. Make sure to check out our other videos for more chilling stories and unsolved mysteries. Your support truly helps the channel grow and reach more true crime enthusiasts like you. Until our next time, stay curious and always seek the truth.